morning. It's Thursday, March 23rd. And the way the world is going, I think we need a little humor every now and then. We need to talk about something that's going on in the world that is really quite funny, I mean, we have a lot of things going on, and everything is so serious and so deadly and so dangerous, We worry about everything. So here's a situation that I think is quite funny, And this situation deals with Jack Daniels and some kind of toy puppy dog. Now, Jack Daniels is a world-famous brand, and I always considered it a bourbon. When anybody said to me, Jack Daniels, I always thought of bourbon. But it turns out that Jack Daniels doesn't consider themselves a bourbon. They consider themselves Tennessee whiskey. So, I don't know whether that has anything to do with this crazy story, but that's what Jack Daniels says they are. They're not bourbon, they're Tennessee whiskey. And they have many other combinations of whiskey that's associated with the brand. So it's very serious business when Jack Daniels is taking on a small toy company called VIP Products. Or maybe it's called VIP Products. But in any event, that's the name of this tiny little company. And at the center of the case is a squeaky toy created by VIP Products. And Jack Daniels is claiming that the toy is strikingly similar to the Jack Daniels bottles. The dog has a black label and a similar font style. But it's a dog. It's not a bottle. It's a dog. And this case is at the Supreme Court, This is not just an ordinary court that's listening to this case. Our Supreme Court is spending its time listening to this case. And Jack Daniels is claiming this image of this dog is detrimental to its image out in the marketplace. It's attacking this little dog because they claim it looks like its bottle, and the dog tells poop-themed jokes. So this must be a hell of a toy. I don't know if it's for a child, if it's telling poop-themed jokes. Maybe Jack Daniels should take this dog and use it as a mascot. So when I thought that, I said I better look at this toy because I wanted to see what this dog looked like. So I probably misled you in thinking that this thing looks like a dog. It doesn't. It looks like a Jack Daniels bottle. But the label has a dog, and the name of this bottle is Bad Spaniels. So maybe Jack Daniels does have a real case. And I got off on the wrong foot by thinking this thing looked like a puppy dog. Until I examined further and I found this bottle that looks very much like a Jack Daniels bottle. So while I thought this was ridiculous that this case ended up in front of the Supreme Court, I now feel differently about it. Because the case is Jack Daniels fighting for the rights of its famous trademark against the First Amendment rights of a small company that is just trying to make a living, so to speak. In fact, when you look at the label and you probably listen to the dog squeak, that might be to Jack Daniels' advantage. That might bring people to the front and say, hey, this is funny, this thing, maybe I'll buy a bottle of Jack Daniels and see what it's like. In fact, there's no question that this VIP Products Company is poking fun at Jack Daniels. Because one of Jack Daniels' claims is Old Number 7 brand Tennessee Sour Mash Whiskey. But the dog says the Old Number 2 on your Tennessee carpet, which is clearly a reference to poop on the carpet. And then the poop bottle says this bottle is 100% smelly, as opposed to 80 proof. Or 43% poo by volume. So it's using all of these alcoholic terms and turning them into poop jokes. So I can understand maybe why Jack Daniels is a little bit upset by this. But maybe they should consider taking advantage of this situation and using this dog bottle as an example. I bet it would raise their sales a little bit. Yeah, maybe they'll stop them from manufacturing it, or maybe they should buy the rights to this bottle. Then they can use it anytime they feel like. Now, VIP Products knew exactly what it was doing because there's a tag on their dog bottle that says the company is in no way, shape, or form affiliated with Jack Daniels. It's a VIP Products creation, a parody on the Jack Daniels bottle. But in the end, that disclaimer was not enough to keep Jack Daniels from suing the company to take the toy off the market. Now, before this case got to the Supreme Court, a lower court ruled in favor of Jack Daniels, but then an appeals court ruled in favor of VIP Products under the First Amendment rights of freedom of speech. And now, Distiller argues that VIP violates federal trademark law and that the toy, especially the references to the dog excrement, damages the Jack Daniels reputation because it could confuse customers into thinking that the product belongs to the oldest registered distillery in the country. Now, if it's confusing, if this toy is confusing people about what Jack Daniels is really all about, then that tells you something about the intelligence of the American people. And it might even lean toward telling you something about the intelligence of people who drink Jack Daniels. So Jack Daniels said everybody likes a good joke, but nobody likes to be the butt of a good joke. So VIP Products' profit-motivated joke confuses consumers by taking advantage of Jack Daniels' hard-earned goodwill. Now, do you think Jack Daniels has hard-earned goodwill? Or do you think they have a product that many people like to drink, and it has nothing to do with goodwill at all? Jack Daniels is a good drink to have when you need a good drink. So let's forget about all the nonsense that Jack Daniels is spewing, and let's just take a good hard look at whether or not you think that this puppy dog bottle is really going to do damage to the Jack Daniels image. And I don't think so. I think it would be to its advantage. And if Jack Daniels was smart, they would say, hey, look at these guys are making fun of us. But our whiskey is still the best whiskey in the country. So have a good laugh and buy a bottle of Jack Daniels. And if you like, you can buy a bottle of this dog pooper. I leave you with those thoughts this morning. Kind of a big joke on Jack Daniels, a big joke on the country, and a big joke that this thing ends up in front of the Supreme Court. So have a great day. Bye.